Hey YouTube people, it's your girl Jake Ivory. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I basically wanted to talk about 5 ways that I've come to notice that it's time for your girl to switch things up, that it's time for a change, and I just wanted to share them with you so you could also recognize, if you're in a place where you're just sick and tired of being sick and tired. So if you're in that spot, this video is for you. So tip number 1 is a loss of motivation, desire, want, however you want to put it. It's just you just not feeling it no more. Like you're head over heels, it's above you at this point, and you're just done. You're doing the basic necessities to get by, and that's that. Can't nobody ask you for nothing more. If you get less, you better be happy with that. I did what I could. Period. If you feel like that, it might be time for you to switch things up, because a loss of motivation basically means like you're no longer interested in the things that you're doing. Either that, or there might be some deeper underlying issues that might require some professional help. So if you're feeling like you just don't have the drive to want to do anything, you don't there's just no want to do anything, this is probably one of the most tall tale signs. It's time for a change. Switch up your breakfast. Get something to get you excited. Don't just spend your days kind of wasting away I'm sick of this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. For a lot of us, this takes place in our work area. We get sick and tired of being sick and tired of their job, their boss, that naggy coworker who just don't know her place. You know what I mean? So, tall tale sign number 1, a loss of motivation. So, tall tale sign number 2 is, for me, when I am in my head daydreaming about every other route my life could be taking other than the one that it is. I'm living in my head. I'm wishing that I could go back to a certain time point in my life to where I could just branch off and go and do this thing, or I could branch off and go and do that thing, rather than focusing on the opportunity that I actually have in front of me, which is the here and now. If you're anything like that, you're constantly daydreaming, you're in your head, you're much happier there sometimes because it's just better. You can dream up whatever, you're happy, you're there. It's your happy place, you feel me? Your daydream, and you practically live there. Tall tale sign number 2, you gotta get out of your head and you gotta be in the present, because if you don't take advantage of it, you're gonna consistently rub back into your head. Why? Because it's just better than what's going on in your reality. And what's the point of that? Because it really just leads to misery, because a lot of the things in our head aren't immediately tangible to us. So, tall tale sign number 2 for me is being in my head a lot. When I'm daydreaming, wishing I could be somebody else or something like that, it's time for a change. Jessica need to switch it up. Maybe I need to go get my hair did or something. You feel me? Feel myself a little bit. But it's time for a change. Sign number 3 for me is pretty, and I'm not going to say it's easy to pick up on, because that would be a definite lie. I'm going to say eventually I'm just I don't feel like myself. So tall tale sign number 3 for me is when I have this feeling that things are off, something just don't feel right, I don't feel like myself, I don't feel like hanging, because I'm a real extroverted person. I feel like this is dependent on how in tune you are with yourself and stuff like that. So if you are extremely in tune with yourself, then you can know when you don't feel like yourself, you feel like something's off, you feel like there's a weight on your shoulder and something like that. If you're not in tune with yourself, you may just interpret that as having another bad day or something like that. Whereas if you are in tune with yourself, you may be able to recognize that you're probably in a funk and something needs to change. Something either gotta go. You could change the people you're hanging around, you could change your environment, the food that you're eating, but something's gotta change. Tall tale sign number 4 is feeling lost and uncertain. When I get to feeling like I don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing. I don't know where this finna go or how I'm finna get to all this stuff that I keep telling myself that I want. I don't know how I'm gonna figure out all of this. This is a lot. You know, everything feels uncertain. I don't know what direction I really want to go in. I'm kind of like, I want to do this, but I want to do that. But I also want to do this, but I have to do this. And I have to do that. That probably wouldn't be the smartest. That would make me broke. See, when I'm juggling like a bunch of options, I don't know what to do, and I'm just like stuck, and I'm really feeling like a lot of the times these have to deal for me with major life decisions. Like, where do I want to move? Do I want to move out of the state? If I move out of the state, where would I go to school? Stuff like that. And then it becomes a snowball effect of all these what if. And this kind of ties into tall tale sign number 5. Tall tale sign number 5 for me is when a lot of my inner language turns into things would be better if or when. When I start realizing that I'm wanting things that are not in my possession, or I'm wanting I'm wanting to be in certain situations that I'm not currently in, I realize that I'm taking away from myself, in the sense that I'm constantly looking outside of myself and outside of my situation for things that I want. And of course, because I'm not finding them, I'm creating this feeling of being unsatisfied and stuff like that. And so it just ends up snowballing, because the brain is just trained to kind of piggyback off of that. Like, oh man, I ain't got enough money to do this, which means I ain't got enough money to do that. And then it just goes further and further and further till it's basically like, I can't do nothing. I got no options. What am I gonna do? And you feel cornered. It's time for a change. It's time for a change. If you're feeling like everything that you have, or you're feeling like the only way you can feel good is when something happens or if something happens, then it's time for a change. It's time for you to pick up, switch up, and get it popping. Because if it ain't working for you, it ain't working for you. If it's broke, go fix it. If it ain't broke, don't. Okay guys, so those are my tips for noticing whether or not, you know, it's time to revamp or give yourself a chance to switch things up. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys have any other tips that are different from the ones that, you know, I listed today. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you guys are a part of the family. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.